Oh, the secret Marshall. If you guys know Marshalls, you probably would know what this one is, judging by the layout of the tubes, which is pretty interesting. It's not a great idea, but I haven't had any problems with it yet. Although when I did pick this up, it wasn't working, but I'll explain that later. Anyways, we're gonna use my precision drive, play with this Marshall, see what it sounds like. And I got SM58 there because my SM57's on my kit over there, because I'm recording. And I got the MD421, so we'll be hearing those mics today. Before we get started on a serious note, I want to just say that with all the floods and stuff here, it's been pretty horrible to hear, what's been happening with everybody. I've read some pretty horrible stories about, fathers losing their daughters, but I just want to say, my heart goes out to you guys. And if you guys are around the areas, try to go out and help out, and it's just a horrible thing. So back to the show. Damn! That's freaking awesome, man. Okay. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today we got an interesting one. No, it's none of these Marshalls. It's not my DSL. It's not my JVM. This is one that I actually traded my PV Red Bandit for. So I can't take any more requests on the PV Red Bandit because I traded a non-working Marshall amp for that. So was it a good deal? I don't know. I love tubes. It has tubes. Have you guys figured out what type of Marshall amp this is? This is one that not too many people mess with. And if you do know what this looks like from the back of it, you may not know it's the next iteration of it. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think what it is before I actually turn this around. So go ahead and pause it, do whatever you do, because I'm about to reveal what it is. I do have my precision drive on it, so we're rocking with that. And I am burning up. If it looks like I'm sweating like a pig, it's because I am, because the AC's broke over here at the storage unit. And I just got done tracking some drums and stuff like this. All right, so let's go ahead and see what this is. Tell you what, let me put the guitar down. That would be smart. Let's twist her around. Okay. Can y'all see it? Ah, look at this. For those of you who know Marshalls really well, you probably thought this was the JTM, huh? Yeah, well, it's basically the same kind of thing. It is the JTM 60, but they renamed this one the JCM 600. Now, I kind of went on, YouTube to look around to see if there's any good videos and reviews of this JCM 600, and I couldn't find anything. And it was mostly like phone audio, so I couldn't get a good feel of it. And when I saw this pop up, I was like, hey man, I got a working Red Bandit a combo that I converted to a head, so it makes it cooler, right? I think so. It's an awesome amp. And he said, yeah, it's not working. I don't know what it is. It just has no output. I was like, cool. He said that the tubes turned on and everything, so it was working. So I brought it in, And what I found is digging around, I did the bias and all that stuff. The bias was a little hot for sure. So when took that down, there was no output, and I might have some pictures, so I'll show here. I had to pull out the whole freaking power board just to get to the preamp, and that was a pain in the ass. I also had to switch out this thing because the other one was all bent like that, which it still worked, but that piece broke off. So right now I'm fixing that big old rip that was in on the front of that with some grill cloth I had, and this is like some Marshall thing that I had for this old speaker, and I'll probably glue that on there, and I just got to clean this sucker up, and it will be brand spanking new. But it was the millions of little cables that Marshall loves to do, and I'm very familiar with these because of the DSL JCM 2000s. They all have those crap load of like little connectors and stuff, and you better write down where they go, because that is what the problem was. Somebody went in there, maybe fixed something, and guess what? They put them back wrong. I went back on a schematic, and it was kind of a pain in the butt to read it, but I put everything back and found 4 wires that were misplaced. After I turned that back on, then I had some output. But the other issue was a bunch of the pots were messed up. So I had to replace 2 of them. I had to do some janky stuff. Not janky, you know, it works pretty well. And I might have pictures of that too, so I'll show you here. But I did the presence pot in the back too. So one thing that I hear is that if you put a patch cable in the effects loop, it gives it a little bit more gain. Let's go ahead, check this out. Let's see what it sounds like. But check that out, dude. That chord. When you hit that chord, man. And obviously, if your guitar's in tune, it has to be in tune. But if it does that sound, it's a kick-ass amp. All right, I'll tell you that, let's see, the gain is at pretty low actually. It's around 10 o'clock or so. The volume is pretty high, it's around 2 o'clock. The bass is all the way up. So we'll go ahead and bring that back. We'll bring everything to noon and just see what it sounds like, right? I do have the presence cranked on it. So let's go back and hear it again. That is a great Marshall sound. Although it is a little dark. It almost has that blanket sound to it. With an EQ in a loop, you know, nobody loves doing that. And I get it. I'm the same way. I don't like taking a EQ and having to put it in the loop and having some other kind of doohickey to... I am country as hell, ain't I? Some doohickey to, you know, fix the EQ on this. But we'll play with that too. Let's bring the gain up to noon. See what that sounds like. The game is definitely geared towards metal. I don't think it has much of a classic rock sound to it on this one. And, you know, that's what the JCMs were. They were the super lead, dual lead, and this is the 6 lead. I don't know. but they're made for more of a rockin' tone. And let's go ahead and bring it to 3 o'clock with the gain. And I'll show you how metal this thing can get. So yeah, it's the Slayer territory for sure, and it makes sense because this came around. It was definitely before the JVM, but I think this is the later version of DSLs and all that kind of stuff. And if someone can tell me in the comments, I didn't search this, but what year was this made compared to all these others? Where does it sit in the lineage? I could probably wiki that too. Maybe I will during the edit of this, but I'm very, very curious about it. It's a great sounding amp. Let's play with the reverb here. Let's go halfway with it. It's very subtle. Let's go ahead and push it all the way up. Yeah, it's got some good reverb going on there. It's a little noisy. Let's go ahead and bring that back. So let's go over to the clean side. Let's just see what that sounds like. Let's bring everything at noon. Bring the volume up. About the same level as the drive right now. And going up there, it definitely has a little bit more grit to it. Let's go up to 3 o'clock. So this channel doesn't have like a gain or anything, so you get what you get on this one. Of course, if you want a clean tone, then you would turn up the master, which it has a master over here, and then a volume over there with no gain for the clean. So you have to play with that volume to get the right kind of breakup or no breakup that you want. So that means if you switch over to the gain, you still have the volume over here, but that could affect the amount of gain that's going on. But you can make it work because there is a separate volume knob on the actual overdrive side. So let's get it pretty clean. Let's bring up the master. So yeah, I can definitely clean up a good bit. Bring in the reverb. All the way up. That might be a grounding issue there. I should check the grounding wires on this. That might be the case on that, but it's fine. my channel, I'll play whatever I want to. Let's bring in some treble. Let's cut that reverb back since it's pretty noisy. Bringing the treble all the way up and the mids to about 2 o'clock. There we go. Now Marshall is not regarded for their cleans, but hey, it worked. Okay, let's go over to the overdrive side and let's do some metal. Hit some precision drive on that thing and see what we can get out of that. So I need to bring the master back down to, I think, there. Alright, the gain is at noon, and this is with everything at noon for the EQ. Something's out of tune. Alright, let's mess with the EQ now. Let's bring the mids back a little bit, which is right here. So yeah, I'll show you the range. All the way down. All the way up. A lot of mids there. Bring it back to where I want it. Let's do the bass all the way down. Oops, crap, that was the volume. Bass all the way down. And bass all the way up. It's not very bass heavy, but I'm gonna keep it all the way up there. Treble, let's bring it up to 2 o'clock. Now, mind you, I do have the presence in the back all the way up, just because it does sound like there's a little bit of a blanket on this amp. So. Now, let's go into the metal territory. Okay. Metal territory. Since there's not a lot of bass in this, I'm going to bring the attack down. Let's bring the gain up a little bit more to about 2 o'clock. Ah, dude, hell yeah. There you go. This thing can definitely metal, and it has a lot more volume than you would think. It's 60 watts. I'm very happy with this. I do like this more than the PV Bandits, which is a pretty bold thing to say, right? I wanted to show you guys what this sounded like for a proper recording, because I don't think there's any of them out there on YouTube at all. So there you go. DMD out.